Bless up, bless up. Thank you for joining me. In time, in essence, and in communication. Right now, we're connected as one, and we're going to use these cards as a vehicle to communicate a message of truth. Starting here, okay? The 5 card, the 5 of Cups to be particular. The cups represent emotions, and I want you to pay attention because you've been experiencing this. This is why I pulled the card, right? You've been focusing on the lesser, lower frequency, lower vibrational element of how you feel. You got 5 cups in total here, yeah? And you're paying attention and mourning. Okay, look at the sorrowful tone, the non-verbal communication, the body language. This is your spirit, okay? When we feel low, our body reflects that. When we're depressed, our body feels that, right? When we're high, when we're elevated, have you seen the difference in the terminology here and how it reflects in the body? Non-verbally speaking, when we are joyful, we enact in what's considered an anti-gravitational behavior. The raising of the eyebrows, the raising of the mouth when you smile, the tips of your toes, the elevation of oneself, you feel and look taller. When you focus, and you are focusing and emphasizing on the wrong feelings, the things you can't change, maybe potentially you are repressing 2 elements of your psyche and emotional acknowledgement that you shouldn't be. You need to pay attention to the fact that you can feel good. You can feel joyful. You can feel surprise in a positive manner. You can feel the spectrum of emotion that we as human beings generally can. Okay, and what we're doing is we're emphasizing and we are pedestalizing the negative elements of emotional feeling and expression. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you. When you live in a world that harnesses your energy and transmutes your fear into attention and currency, right? Flick the television on, and what you're going to get? Are you going to feel good for it? No, generally not. Go on your social media, search, are you going to feel good for it? Is the algorithm going to give you good news or bad news? No, because they understand that if they incite fear in your hearts, you're going to keep watching because it's a survival mechanism, right? So they're going to have you continuously operate on a low frequency. This is your sign to stop and understand you as a human. If you experience one emotion, believe it or not, it is a spectrum, it is a rainbow, right? It's a circle. You can go all the way around it if you want. One is just as valuable as the other, right? It's just varying degrees of the same principle. That principle is emotion. And what do? We create motion, emotional motion, right? So stop focusing on what is depicted here, the 3 detrimental energetic forces that can't be helped, and focus on the upright, sturdy, stable elements of the same principle that you're ignoring. Yeah, you know you should feel better. Shouldn't we all? All we need to do is acknowledge and highlight and emphasize and spotlight that which is. It already exists. We're just not looking at it because we're told not to, because we live in a world where nobody else does. So we are aligning with that particular communication, that outlook, that frequency, you know? And that's not right. The number 5 represents the pentagram, okay? Or maybe a pentacle, or maybe a pentagon. But the pentagram is what it represents, alright? It's not necessarily a witch-esque, demonic, satanic symbol. It's the symbol of the star, in case you didn't know. Maybe if it was inverted, we could talk about something else, but it represents the 4 elements. And atop of the 4 elements, the top spike represents the spirit above the material plane, alright? Elevate your spirits, understand that your spirit exists above and beyond, and in understanding that, You understand the different level of self that exists beyond the fickleness of material. Yeah? There's something more out there. We only perceive what 0.0.0535 nothing pi of the electromagnetic spectrum. We generally don't know what's going on. So you might as well be happy during this experience and understand if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling shock in a negative manner, if you're feeling depressed. We can turn the dial slowly and surely into a separate space. Stop focusing and refocus. It's not easily done, but you're feeling that sort of way, and that's why we're discussing this, and that's why we're talking about that. Affirmation today is I promise I will get better. Leave that down in the comments section.